Hello, creators. Welcome to Educate. This is Mpumalanga, June 2023. Here it says, study the illustration of urbanization and answer the questions that follow. Always read the statement so that you know what's the diagram based on. Sometimes you just look at diagrams, you don't even know what they are based on, and you end up interpreting it the wrong way. You read the statement, grade 12s. You are now old, and I'm not going to be like Toto Sinyong at Mantuan. Hey, you read the what? The statement. The statement says that this image is based on urbanization, and you know what urbanization is. So now let's just define it here before we analyze. So 3.4.1, it says, what is urbanization? Now explain to us, what is urbanization? Guys, please know how to differentiate between urban growth, between urban expansion, between urbanization. Those three things. Know how to differentiate between those three things. Urbanization is when there's an increase in the percentage of people moving into urban areas. The increase in the what? In the percentage. The urban growth is the increase in the number or the absolute number of people that are entering the urban areas or that are living in the urban areas. Urban expansion is the physical growth of the urban areas. Guys, never confuse those terms. So urbanization is the what? The increase in percentage. Don't say increase in the number or increase in the population. Wrong. This is increase in percentage. So this is the increase in percentage of people living in urban areas. So it just means that we're having more people that are doing what? That are entering and they are living in urban areas. But it's an increase in the percentage. The percentage increases. So now 3.4.2, that's when we need to kind of look at the diagram now and try to kind of answer and get it. All right, so this illustration here, you can see that we have got a person here, and this person is holding something. It's like a tool, a spanner. It's like a tool, and then here there is some machine here. This is definitely a machine. Here it is written before urbanization. Let us analyze this before urbanization. What can you see here in the before urbanization section? You can see that we have got two houses here, kind of two buildings. They say before urbanization, so this means that before an increase in the percentage of people in the urban area. So this must be an urban area, but this urban area definitely looks not so urban, because like the normal urban areas that we know, it is comprised of tall buildings and all of that mess. But here you can see that here we have got small fewer houses, and there's a lot of space between houses. There are trees here. You can see there are trees here. There are trees here. This is all before urbanization. Then now there's a machine here. And then now after the machine here, you see that here we go to this man, and this man is holding a tool. He's trying to fix something. And if you can see, this is how the modern urban area looks like. You can see that here we're having a tall CBD. You're having like a tall building. So this is a typical one. So it's a before and an after situation. So this machine is just representing the change that is occurring. It's more like a machine that is cooking an urban area to become this extensive, because people are becoming more. So we can just say that this is after urbanization. So now we've analyzed what's happening here. We can see now that we have got this man is thinking so deep, and we have got tall buildings. We have got less space. We don't have the trees anymore. So now explain how the sketch illustrates urbanization. How does the sketch illustrate urbanization? Here you can mention what is happening before urbanization. So here you can see that in the image before urbanization. So before urbanization in the sketch, because it is something in the sketch, we're not just getting it from our knowledge. So this is before urbanization. So here basically before urbanization, you can mention what's happening here. We've got a not so much tall buildings. You can say we've got short buildings. We have got more vegetation. You can say you've got more crops. Don't say crops. You can say there's more vegetation there. So there's more vegetation. Okay, there's more vegetation. there are shorter buildings. There are shorter buildings, and there's a lot of space between the buildings. You can see that the buildings, they are dispersed. They are dispersed building. This is you explaining what you are seeing. Guys, you are not getting this from your mind. You are seeing it right in front of you. So we have got dispersed buildings. So we have got buildings that are far away from each other. But remember here we are illustrating urbanization. So it means there must be a change from the state that we are in here before. We have explained the state that we are in. The state that we are in here has got more vegetation. It has got shorter buildings. It has got buildings that are spaced, that have got a bigger distance between them. Now explain what happens after urbanization. This is still under the same answer. So here, after urbanization, what can you see? You just can see this man, and what can you see? You can see that here we now have got tall buildings. So let's just counteract what you have said here. So now we have got less vegetation. You have got less things that are growing there, like natural vegetation. All right, because you can see here there are no trees here, guys. There are no trees in the after urbanization. There are no trees. There is nothing there. There are no trees. There are no green belts. So there is less vegetation, and you can even look at the buildings. The buildings now, they are so tall. The buildings are tall, and the buildings are closer to one another. All right, so the buildings are what? Are tall. They're closer to one another. So here we have got taller buildings. We have got taller buildings. And what else can you see? They are closer to one another, and then they are densely packed. They are densely packed. Not that you should write in this way that I have wrote with a lot of commas and whatnot. No, you guys can explain it using your fancy ways. But here, just explain something that you are able to see from the sketch. How is the sketch illustrating urbanization? We are seeing the state before urbanization. The state before urbanization has got shorter buildings, has got buildings that are far away from each other, has got more vegetation. It is something that you can see. You are quoting it from something. You are giving evidence of something in front of you, not something that you are theorizing or something that you think you know. Okay, so basically, and then you talk about after urbanization, you have got taller buildings. The buildings are closer to one another, and then you can see that you have got less space between the buildings. Probably all of those things. And then now 3.4.3 grade 12s. 3.4.3. It says here, discuss how the natural environment is being affected by urbanization as shown in the illustration. So what has been shown in the illustration, guys, do not try and tell us what you know. They said as shown by the illustration. Whatever that you must describe, it must be based on what you are seeing from the what? From the sketch, from the illustration, guys. And here from the illustration, I can definitely see that the vegetation has been removed from the ground. So how would that affect the natural environment? The natural environment, we're talking about the soil, basically the soil. How will it be affected if we are continuing removing the trees, deforestation, so that we can build more buildings and accommodate more people coming into the urban areas? How will it affect? How will the natural environment feel when we do that? We are actually removing the top fertile soil. Okay, so basically we can say that the top fertile soil. So as you deforestate, as you remove the vegetation from the ground, the top fertile soil is removed. So this is affecting the natural environment. Top fertile soil is removed. By what? By removing vegetation or by deforestation. So here the top fertile soil is being removed. And how are we removing the top fertile soil here? We are doing that by deforesting, by removing the trees or by cutting down the trees, by whatever that is, by removing the vegetation. Deforestation or something. Deforestation. Okay, so we are removing the top fertile soil. So the environment is affected because its top fertile soil is removed. And we know that we do have species, we do have things that are staying within the soil. We do have species animals or insects, whatever that you can call them. But those things, they stay in the soil, they depend on the soil. And Tina, here we are busy removing the vegetation and the topsoil. Then we're actually destroying their habitat. We do have bacteria that stay within the roots. It's known as mycorrhizae, just for your FYI, for your own information. But basically, all of those species will be destroyed, their habitats. So habitats, so here we can say that the habitats for species, so here the habitats for species that live in the soil or something like that are removed. So for some species, the habitats are destroyed. Or you can say that biodiversity is reduced. Biodiversity just means that we are destroying the creatures. Okay, let's just say the insects that you are finding in the soil by removing the trees. So basically, the habitats for those those are the homes for those things to stay, for those insects to stay. So when you are removing the home for someone to stay, you are destroying the biodiversity in this sense. Whatever. Yeah, but basically, you can say even more things here, guys. There are many good impacts of having trees and having vegetation for the soil. Okay, it makes the soil to be even more compact and not easily eroded. But the moment you remove them, the soil becomes loose and whatnot. But you can mention as many as you want here. Now, the major one here, 3.4.4. So 3.4.4 here, it is a question that has got a lot of things to do, and you have to read the statement so that you make things simpler for yourself. It says the person in the sketch represents local municipalities of urban areas and seems to be very concerned about how the process of urbanization is unfolding. So this person, as you can see, he is holding this this tool here. He is very concerned that there is a lot of increase in people, and this process is actually concerning to him, and he is representing the local municipalities, the people that actually manage the infrastructure and everything about the urban area. All right, so now here it says, in a paragraph of approximately 8 lines, describe how the development of green belts can be used as a strategy to make cities more sustainable. Guys, the process of urbanization, it makes the cities to look bad. It actually leads to this thing known as urban sprawl, which is an uncontrolled growth of urban areas, right? So basically, the more people come to cities and to urban areas, the percentage is increasing. There's a lot of urbanization occurring. Those people, they will need a place to stay, and there's not a guarantee that they will get a place to stay. So in most cases, they will have to build shacks, and they will make the urban area to look even bad aesthetically. So here we want to say, developing green belts, how can we make the cities to be more sustainable by development of green belts? Remember, green belts, we're talking about vegetation in general. We're talking about vegetation, anything that has to do with trees and vegetation. Those green stuff, the trees and vegetation, how can they help make the urban areas more sustainable? We do know that the trees that are part of the green belt, basically, the trees, what do we know about trees? Trees, if we have got more trees, then you'll be living in a luxurious place, because the trees, what do? They absorb carbon dioxide. So trees absorb, so the trees here, they absorb carbon dioxide, and they do what? And they release oxygen. This will make they release oxygen. So this is actually going to make the urban areas a more suitable place to live, because when there's a lot of carbon dioxide due to these industries and a lot of people, it becomes very hard to live in such a place. So basically, those trees can be able to absorb that dangerous carbon dioxide gas, and then they will release a healthy, clean oxygen gas through photosynthesis, and then that will actually make the cities to be more sustainable. But it must be something connected to a green belt. A green belt is just including the trees and the vegetation and all of that, as I've mentioned, grade 12s. And then now here, what other sustainable thing? Remember, you're writing this in a paragraph of approximately 8 lines, but here I'm writing using points because I'm trying to minimize paragraphs. I hate paragraphs in actual fact, but you have to write using paragraphs. If you write points, you will get 0 marks for correct points, right? So it doesn't really mean that you are wrong when you get wrong things. It's the way you present it. In every aspect of life, it's just like that. You can present the right idea in a wrong format and you will actually be misinterpreted. So know the format here. You are writing a paragraph. All right, call this, call that. Now, a green belt, we're talking about trees as well. Remember, one of the problems that is caused by urbanization is a lot of noise. Guys, remember that here you can see that here we've got a lot of buildings, a lot of businesses, or that they are running here. There's a lot of noise. We do know that trees are good at absorbing noise. I don't know if you guys believe this or not, but if you go to a place that has got a lot of trees and you shout, yay, probably no one will hear you. But if you go to a place that is very clear with no trees and you just shout, everyone will be able to hear you. So basically, what am I trying to emphasize by this? The trees are able to absorb noise. So noise pollution is one of the problems that is affecting the urban areas due to urbanization, due to more people coming in. So basically, if we plant more trees, that is part of the green belt, right? It can make the cities to be more sustainable because the noise can be absorbed. So the trees as well, they do that function. So it's the trees usually that do the most things in the green belt. So the trees, they do what? They absorb noise. So they absorb noise. And when they absorb noise, this will do what? This will reduce noise pollution because we know this is the problem. This will reduce noise pollution because this is definitely the problem in a couple of urban areas. So this will do what? This will reduce the pollution. There we go. And then there we have it. Then what other point can you add here? A green belt. You just have to think of the problems happening in an urban area due to urbanization, and then now think of a solution that has to do with trees, vegetation, which is a green belt basically. So here, what else can you think can be a sustainable strategies to make the urban areas to be sustainable or to be livable? What other thing can you think about the trees? Think about this. I don't know if you guys can agree with me. I'm not even sure if this is the correct answer or not, but okay, I can say it's the correct answer. So basically, the urban areas, I've already told you that they are very ugly in most cases. Most urban areas are ugly because people are continuously just building everywhere. They are building everything everywhere, and they are even unauthorized buildings. They are just still hanging around there, and it's making the urban areas to be even bad and kind of messed up. So we can actually bring an aesthetic appeal by bringing a green belt, because if you bring more vegetation, if you plant more vegetation, plant more green belts and all of that, you'll be able to actually bring that beauty back to the city. So the city must be beautiful. So you are bringing a beauty back to the city. Bring beauty back to the city. Bring beauty back to the city, I mean. So here, basically here, the trees can increase the aesthetic appeal. So here we can say trees, they can improve or they can increase the aesthetic appeal. Aesthetic appeal is just simply means that the trees can make the urban area look more beautiful. Aesthetic appeal of the urban area. So they can increase the aesthetic appeal of the urban area. So this can actually make these sustainable, of course. And also what other problem can you think of in an urban area? We can think of air pollution. Air pollution is a problem. Okay, remember that in an urban profile, we do have an industrial zone whereby we have got heavy industries, and most of the times those heavy industries, they release gases, smoke that consists of gases that are so intoxicant, or that are so toxic. So those toxic gases that are coming from the heavy industries, the heavy industries, most of the times they release a lot of air pollution. Having a green belt will reduce air pollution because we have already said that the trees, they absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen gas. But we cannot just say that is the same point as the first one, because here now we are being specific to say that the industries that are releasing pollutants into the air, that are making the air to be more polluted. If we were to plant trees and plant green belts each and every place, we know that those trees will be able to reduce the air pollution. But in the mechanism here is just absorbing the carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen gas. But here we can say that the trees or the green belt, but I'll just keep on saying trees here, the trees can do what? They can reduce air pollution. So trees can reduce air pollution. So how do they reduce air pollution? They absorb the pollutants from heavy industries by absorbing the pollutants. Remember, the pollutants is the intoxicant or intoxicated, but whatever that is, that has got toxicity within it. It can do what? It can be absorbed by the trees in the green belt, and then these are coming from heavy industries. So this will make urban areas to be more sustainable. There are many things that you can say here, guys, about a green belt. There are many more things that you can say here, but here I only need 2 points. I only need 4 points for 2 marks each, guys. So make sure that, guys, when you write paragraph questions, you don't mix 2 points together. Do not say that trees absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen, and they also absorb noise and reduce noise pollution. Guys, you only get 2 marks for that. Then you must get 4 marks. Please make sure that each and every point you write a point, you put a full stop. Be brief. When you think that you want to explain more, just stop there and put a full stop and explain whatever that is more. You explain it in a new sentence. Do not combine this and you'll be like putting wrong conjunctions, and you'll be like trees increase aesthetic appeal of the urban area, and the trees don't even use the word "and" in geography. Besides here in a general way whereby you are including something else, but don't mix 2 points. Guys, don't mix 2 points together. These paragraphs question, most of you guys get it wrong because you mix points. You won't get the full marks if you mix the points, number 1. Number 2, if you're going to use the word "and" the most when you're mixing the points, you won't get the marks. When they say write a paragraph of approximately 8 lines, in actual fact, you want 4 points, and those 4 points will give you 2 marks each. That's why the mark allocation says 4 by 2. So guys, listen to this very carefully. Write at least 4 points, and after that, continue writing more points until you reach 8 lines. So maybe you can write at least 6 points. Maybe if you get some wrong, some you'll get correct. At least get 6 marks for these paragraph questions, and just fail only 1. But otherwise, guys, I wish you all the best with whatever that you're gonna be writing. I love you so much, guys, and I wish you that you pass. Please, guys, don't disappoint me. I've put my good work in investing in you. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.